Saloni Kothari caught up with the CEO of the Dharavi project, S.V.R. Srinivas, who gave us a breakdown of how this survey will take place and work. Listen in.
This is basically to determine who is eligible for resettlement and rehabilitation. Secondly, it will entail a household survey. So, the teams will go from house to house, and a biometric will be done, fingerprinting, and also videography will also be done, and the documents of proof of evidence they are to be shown to the team from the side of the, I am now talking from the side of the residents there in Dharavi, and the documents will be given back to them then and there after copying, and the entire system will be electronic, right, not manual, so that it will be foolproof. And finally, this is very important that the survey will be not just for residences alone. It will also include a survey of commercial structures like factories, shops, businesses, and not just that. In fact, it also be done of the community structures. So, there will be 3-4 categories. One is residents, which are residential in nature, and second is commercial and industrial, and third is community structures. So, whole hog survey will be done, a very comprehensive survey that it will be.
Sir, this survey process, how long will it take if we have any sort of timeline in mind?
Yeah, we are starting it next week. And first initially we are starting in one small area in the railway line, but that will be a pilot, let me say. And if necessary, we will do some adjustments, and that will be continued in the rest of Dharavi. And I am expecting it will take about 6 to 7 months. Yeah.
So the government is going to be deciding the process and who will be eligible from the survey.
Yes.
If you could help us understand, once the survey happens, how will the government be, going ahead with the whole eligibility criteria for the same?
See, first let me make it clear that the entire process will be regulated by the government and overseen by government. In this case, the Dharavi Redevelopment Project Office, and the eligibility, whether the person is eligible or not eligible, it will also be decided by the government, not by any other agency. Only thing is, we will be using some private agencies to do the survey, because we do not have so much staff. That much is only outsourced, but the decision is all with the government. And secondly, on this context, I would like to reiterate again about what I had said earlier, elsewhere, that this is the only project of its kind in India where for the first time all the residents will be rehabilitated irrespective of they are eligible or not, with subject to certain conditions, of course. And those who are eligible will be given in situ, and those who are not will be given higher purchase based rental accommodation, right. In the other SRA schemes, it is not so. So, this is a first towards that direction. And the fact is that, as all of us know, it is in the offing for more than 2 decades, right. So, this is a huge step and hopefully in the right direction.
So, as you mentioned, the project and the concept has been there from the past 2 decades and finally getting to see some light there. But after the survey, and also once you decide the eligibility criteria also, do you have any sort of timeline in mind as to how long will it take for the entire process to happen?
Yeah, the timeline?
Yes.
Yeah, see, this criteria is already fixed for eligibility. The only we are going to see individuals whether they are particularly eligible for either regular accommodation or rental housing. That is the only difference, right? Even rental housing also, as I said, it can be purchased on a higher purchase basis. Okay, that's it. That's one part. Second is as I said, for the survey it will going to take, we are anticipating 6 to 8 months. But for the construction to happen, for the rehab part, we had said that it should be completed in about 7 years' time. So, that will be very challenging, I understand. But given the timelines that we have, given the complexity that we have, we can't promise in 3-4 years, that will be not correct. At the same time, we can't say this project will go on endlessly for 20 years and then only it will be rehabilitated, because as Keynes has said, in the long run we are all dead. So, we have come out with this biomedia, so that will be about 7 years for rehabilitation.
So this whole idea of digital Dharavi, and you mentioned how it will be all done online. If you can help us understand how that will happen, is there some sort of app that's been developed, or how are you going to track that the whole process of survey
Yeah.
through this?
So for two things. One is the teams will carry a mobile app. Okay, there is an app. So the data will be fed in, and it will be connected to the central server. Okay, and the government can easily monitor on a daily basis what's happening. At the same time, there is also a grievance mechanism. So we are trying to have a single window grievance mechanism, and there will also be a kiosk whereby number is given, free toll-free number, and they can always do grievances if there are any. They can be lodged also. If somebody feels that his name is omitted, or he is eligible, he is feeling is eligible, right? Any sort of grievance, that will also be a mechanism is being put in place, and I think the digitization will help us and help the residents also to make it frictionless as much as possible.